OpenAI just dropped a bombshell with its new video AI Sora 2. But instead of applause, it kicked off a massive firestorm with, well, the entire Hollywood establishment. So, let's get into why this isn't just another tech launch, it's a full-blown battle for the future of creativity itself.
And I'm not exaggerating. When a studio exec goes on the record with CNBC and says you've literally set the bridge on fire, you know things are bad. This is way more than just a disagreement. It's a declaration of war. So why all the fury? Let's take a look at why Hollywood's reaction isn't just some knee-jerk fear of AI. It's actually a pretty justified response to some, let's say, very questionable decisions by OpenAI. You know, it's funny, there's this huge disconnect. If you're in the tech bubble, Sora 2 seems like actual magic. But for everyone else, there's this deep, fundamental distrust of AI. And in this case, Hollywood's anger isn't just about being afraid of new tech. Nope, it's a direct result of the specific and pretty controversial way OpenAI rolled this thing out. So, how exactly did they manage to cause such a mess? Let's dig into the launch itself, and you'll see how this amazing piece of tech was released in a way that pretty much guaranteed total chaos. Okay, this right here is the heart of the problem. OpenAI launched Sora 2 using what's called an opt-out model, and they did it with basically zero guardrails. They essentially said to all of Hollywood, hey, we're going to use your characters, your actors' faces, everything. And if you don't like it, well, that's on you. It's your job to come find us and ask us to stop. And the results were exactly what you'd expect. Instant chaos. The app just exploded with all this bizarre, unauthorized stuff. You had SpongeBob smoking, Scooby-Doo in a high-speed chase. On top of that, OpenAI was reportedly telling different talent agencies completely different things. It was just the perfect storm of anger and confusion. And you know, legal experts are looking at this and saying this was no accident. The feeling is that these were calculated risks based on a really loose reading of the law. They weren't just bending the rules. They were trying to turn the whole idea of copyright on its head. Now, to really understand the legal battle here, we need to quickly break down two key ideas. Two ideas that OpenAI seems to have just thrown into a blender and hoped for the best. This slide nails the core issue. See, in the US, you have copyright, which protects the work itself, like the character of SpongeBob. But then you have something called the right of publicity, and that protects the person, an actor's actual face and voice. And here's the kicker. Copyright often uses that opt-out model, like when you file a takedown notice on YouTube. But protecting a person's image, that is almost always opt-in. You need to get their permission first. OpenAI's huge mistake was treating everything like it was a simple copyright issue. It's what attorney Rob Rosenberg calls a false bargain. OpenAI is basically shifting all the blame. They're saying, hey, if your image got misused, it's your own fault for not telling us not to. It's a pretty wild argument. And this just shows how disconnected from reality they were. OpenAI actually told Hollywood agents that they, the agents, needed to personally email the company to get their clients removed. I mean, that is just not how that world works. An agent's entire job is to proactively protect their client's image, not run around cleaning up a tech company's mess. You'd get fired for that. Okay, let's shift gears from the corporate and legal side of things, because this chaos had a real, personal, and frankly, deeply disrespectful impact on people. Almost immediately, people started using the tech to create AI versions of deceased celebrities. It got so bad that Robin Williams' daughter, Zelda, had to publicly beg people to stop sending her these incredibly disturbing AI videos of her late father. And it didn't stop there. The family of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had to speak out against people using his likeness in disrespectful ways. The public backlash was so intense that OpenAI actually had to hit pause on any AI generations of Dr. King and promised to, strengthen their guardrails. But right in the middle of all this chaos, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman steps forward with this incredibly audacious defense. He basically suggested that none of this was a mistake. In fact, it was all part of a much bigger, much smarter plan. So here's OpenAI's counter-narrative. They're arguing that their platform is actually safer than all the open source AI tools out there because they can control it. And they pointed to this new system, kind of like the app Cameo, where celebrities would have to purposely opt in to let people use their likeness. The irony, of course, is that's the system they should have used from day one.
But Sam Altman himself was even more direct about it. He claimed that after the first day of outrage, the whole mood shifted. According to him, the same celebrities who called him crazy were suddenly realizing, maybe this guy's a genius. We just got a ton of free publicity.
And if you're looking for the kind of results he's talking about, well, here it is, 3.6 billion. That's the number of views influencer Jake Paul supposedly got after he made his likeness available on Sora. It just unleashed this massive flood of viral content.
So this all leads to Altman's big, bold prediction. He's betting that in a year, the conversation will be totally different. The problem won't be celebrities trying to get out of Sora. It'll be celebrities complaining that they aren't being featured on the platform enough.
Which leaves us with two completely opposite ways to look at everything that just happened. Was this a catastrophic, career-ending blunder, or a cynical, calculated masterstroke?
So on one side, you have the blunder theory. OpenAI completely torched its relationship with Hollywood, its biggest potential customer, and that trust is gone forever. But then there's the master plan theory. This was all just an insane viral marketing stunt. Create chaos, get the name Sora everywhere, then come back later, apologize, add the guardrails you should have had in the first place, and just wait for Hollywood to come crawling back.
So, now that you've seen how the bridge was burned, and you've heard the audacious plan to rebuild it, I'll leave the final question to you. What do you think this was? A masterstroke or a mistake they can never come back from?